Hey, good morning, folks. No, good afternoon. I'm sorry. I got a late start today. I was busy doing some work, and yeah, I did my prayer and meditation this morning, but just couldn't get to a video. So here I am. It's afternoon here in sunny and windy, very very windy Port Isabel, Texas, right on the Gulf Coast, almost all the way down to Mexico. And we are right across from SpaceX Boca Chica, which you can see there in the camera. On the left, you see the launch pad for SpaceX, and on the right, you see the production facilities where they have those big square buildings where they work on boosters and rockets. And then off to the right of that, right next to that, you can see the rocket garden where the rockets are being grown, or stored, I should say. They're stored in the garden. It's a garden of rockets. So today I want to talk about something very exciting. Have you heard about the Gospel of Thomas? I'm wondering, the Gospel of Thomas wasn't included in the Bible, the King James Version. I'm not a scholar. I am not a Bible scholar by any stretch of the imagination. I think you know that about me already. I went to the school of hard knocks. I made it through fifth grade in Catholic school. That's the most training I had in the Bible. After that, it was all pretty much learning about the hard, bad things in life up until I reached my early 20s when I finally was saved. God saved me, sent me into recovery, and there I began building a closer relationship with God. But as far as studying the Bible, I did not. I mean, I know we had a children's Bible at home, with lots of pictures, which I loved. And I know, Jesus' story, the New Testament. I know about the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and I've tried reading the Bible, like from start to end, and I got about, I don't know, maybe 10 pages into it, I think, one time. And it was just too much. It was just too complicated, too boring. This one begat that one, who begat that one, who begat that one. I mean, it just went on and on. I was like, what is this? I can't, I'm not getting anything from it. Anyway, recently I heard about the Gospel of Thomas, I guess a couple of years ago. And these are I think they call them the Hogmanati. There's a place over there somewhere in Egypt or something like that where they had these things buried, and they found them, they uncovered them. I believe it was in the 60s. And they uncovered the Gospel of Thomas. Now, this wasn't included in the Bible, and I'm wondering, was it censored? They probably had censorship back then where they were like, you know what, this just doesn't fit with what we want, what we're talking about here. This guy Thomas is a little far out. His teachings aren't really in line with what we think it's all about, so we're not going to include this in the Bible. And that's fine, but the fact that they were hidden, it seems like they were pushed underground, buried, tried to make as if they never were, instead of like allowing people to see them and say, there are these other gospels, but we just didn't include them in the Bible. But you can read them if you want and see what they said, and discuss them, and we'll debate you on whether they're accurate or completely made up. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know why people didn't include them, and what the feeling is. What still today, like I'm sure there's tons of people that say, "Oh, the Gospel of Thomas. You shouldn't even read that. You shouldn't bother." It's just. It's not real, it's not right, it's not correct, it's made up, it's false, it's inaccurate, to give you the wrong ideas. And I'm sure there's all that. But the first time I looked into it and I started listening to it, I was kind of blown away by it. I was like, wow, here we have someone that's claiming to have known Jesus, and he writes just what Jesus said. These are things that Jesus said. Jesus spoke. That's it. There's no other stuff in there. It's just line after line as far as, what we know and what has been uncovered and translated. It's just line after line of things that Jesus said, which I love. I love that there's no filler. It's just like this guy Thomas was just like, this is what he said, guys. Here it is. And so it's all just quotes from Jesus, or just like, this is what he said. I guess you'd call them quotes. But I loved it the first time I listened to it. And I'm going to tell you why, because I'll read the first couple of paragraphs. The opening, okay, this is the Gospel of Thomas as translated by Thomas O. Lambdin. And this is on Marquette edu, marquette.edu, which is a college, right? So this is how it goes. These are the secret sayings which the living Jesus spoke, and which Didymus Judas Thomas wrote down. Now Didymus, from my understanding, means twin. So I don't know if he was, he was a twin, but I'm not sure whose twin. Okay, I forget what they said. Whether I thought I heard it was Jesus's twin or Judas's twin. I don't know, but somebody's twin, probably one of the apostles. Anyway, 1. And he said, whoever finds the interpretation of these sayings will not experience death. Think about that. That struck me. That was just so powerful to start off with that statement, that bold of a statement, that if you listen to these sayings and find the interpretation of these sayings, what he's going to say, what he's telling you, you will not experience death. Isn't that cool? I mean, that is so cool. That is just so cool. I mean, to me, when I listen to Thomas now, I'll list the one video that I love where they just read the Gospel of Thomas, and sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll put it on the headphones and I'll just listen to it, and it's just really good. I like the way the person that's reading it speaks, and they have a little bit of like background sort of music, to give it some context and spice it up a little bit with just a little bit of background music. But I really like it, and I'll link to it. I just think it's fantastic, and I'll just listen to these, and they just say them like one after the other, not real quickly, but not real slowly either, and it kind of just it sinks in, and I think about them, and then I fall asleep. So I'll leave the link to that. But the first time I heard this, I was like, whoa, okay. Whoever finds the interpretation of these sayings will not experience death. I was like, wow, is this magic or what? What is this? So let's go on to number 2. And we'll just do 3 for now because I don't want to make it too long of a video. But the first 3 are just amazing. 2. Jesus said, let him who seeks continue seeking until he finds. When he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished. And he will rule over the all. I'm sorry I messed that up, but it's just amazing. I'll say it again. 2. Jesus said, let him who seeks continue seeking until he finds. When he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished, and he will rule over the all. Wow. That's crazy stuff, right? Saying like, okay, you're going to seek, continue seeking until you find, because when you find, you're going to become troubled. You're going to be troubled over what you find. Think about that. You'd be like, what? Wait a minute. Are you serious? Is that the truth? What are you saying? So whatever it is, it must be pretty far out. So Thomas is saying that Jesus said this. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished. You will be astonished. Thomas is saying, if you listen to this and you seek Jesus If you seek and continue seeking until you find, when you find, you will become troubled, and then that trouble will turn into astonishment over what you've heard, what you've found. Astonishment. And he will rule over the all. The all. Wow. Number 3. Jesus said, if those who lead you say to you, see, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will become known, and you will realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father. But if you will not know yourselves, you dwell in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty. Wow! I mean, isn't that amazing? The kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. It's right here. It's not anywhere else. It's everywhere. It's not up there in the sky. It's not down there in the sea. If you think it's in the sea, the fish are going to be there before you. If you think it's in the sky, then the birds will see it before you. But the kingdom is in you. It's in you. God's child, God's human being. And it is outside of you. It's in you and it's out you. It's not physical. It's a spirit. It's everywhere. It pervades everything. When you come to know yourselves, in other words, it's inside of you, it's outside of you, and when you come to know yourself, how powerful you really are, who you really are, as Joel Osteen says, whose you really are. When you know whose you really are, you're his, you're God's, you will realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father. You are the son of the living Father. Man, woman, child, you're the son of the living Father. You have that in you. You have the power, the family, the genetics, the composition, the spirit of the Father. But if you will not know yourselves, you dwell in poverty. If you're not willing to look, if you're not willing to feel it, if you're not willing to see it, if you're not willing to experience it, if you're not willing to open yourself up to it, to see it, forget about the 5 senses. It's more than that. It's inside of you and outside of you. That transcends the 5 senses. It's much, much more than that. The world is much, much more than that. Your life is much, much more than flesh and blood and bones. You dwell in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty. It's your choice. You want to be that poverty? You want to be the small self? You want to be the little small self? The little human, animal that just crawled out of the ocean and not much more than a primate? Then that's who you are. But if you realize that it is you who is the Son of the living Father, so I just want to encourage you to check out Thomas. Like I said, I don't know if this is today's version. Yeah, I mean, this is, the past version of, Twitter censorship or social media censorship. We didn't like what Thomas was saying, so we're just going to exclude him. And there's other books, too. The Gnostics is what they call them. Gnosis, I believe, meaning spirit, but they call them the Gnostics. Gnostics, I believe. Let me just look it up. Gnosis, I believe, is spirit. Gnosis. Go. Gnosis. Builds, no, that's Gnosis. Let's see. I don't like Wikipedia, but let's see what they say. Gnosis is the common Greek noun for knowledge. Oh, okay, spirit. I was thinking spirit. Gnosis, knowledge. The common Greek noun for knowledge. So these are the Gnostic, I don't know, Bible, the Gnostic books. Let's see, Gnostics. I think that's what but that's about knowledge, man. Gnosticism is the belief that human beings contain a piece of God, the highest good, or a divine spark within themselves, which has fallen from the immaterial world into the bodies of humans. So in other words, so listen, this is what it's all about. This is why Thomas was banned, because they didn't like this idea that you could have a piece of God in you. But if you're the Son of God, you must. You must. How could you not? How could you not? If God is your Father, how could you not? Okay, guys, that's it for me today. Maybe I'll read some more Thomas soon. Maybe I'll just point you to it and see what you think about it. But I just want to share that with you today. And I don't know if I told you, today is May 17th, 2022. We're here in Port Isabel looking at SpaceX. We're going to Mars, guys. Going to Mars. Have a good day. God bless you.
PQS Self-Express.